When you're dealing with mold, most of the time mold, depending on how bad it is, and in this case, as you can see this window sill, there was a air conditioner sticking out of this window, and the air conditioner was leaking water into the walls. So in this case, you're going to have to rip the walls that's infected with the mold, and this is exactly what I did. I ripped out the wall all the way down to the baseboard that was infected. It actually went farther up than I expected. And how much do you take off, you might ask? It depends on feeling the drywall to see if it's wet. If you feel that it is dry, then you've reached the amount of the infected wall. This is pretty much dry now. If I hit it extra hard, that's what will happen, but I'm pretty sure that this is already taken care of as far as the wet part. Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to try to break the wall so when I cut the board, it'll fit right in. So I'm hitting the corner right now, this part, and then it's going to come down a little bit, come down a little bit here, come down a little bit here, and down here. Okay, so yeah, it's going to leave a mess. You're going to have to pick it up. But once you tear the infected part off, we'll be ready to hang the drywall onto this section of the wall, and I'll show you how to do that in the next step. Okay, bye-bye. Before you buy the drywall, of course, you're going to have to figure out what is the size drywall you're going to need, how thick the board is going to be. This particular board seems like it's two 1/4-inch boards, but I'm not going to put 2 1/4-inch boards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here to here, and what I have is 1/2 inch. So I'm going to buy the 1/2 inch board. It comes in 5 by 8 feet usually, so measure how much board you're going to need. Remember, before you cut your board, you're going to have to clean this part, which is the lip of where the floor panel here is attached to. So when you put your drywall board, it's going to rest in that track right there. Okay, so clear that out. And then now you're going to have to cut your board. You want to try to get one big piece to cover the biggest spot, and then you work from your little ones from there. How to cut the board? Well, get your measurement first. This is an 8-foot board. I'm just going to cut it in half. I drew my line and I just ran a razor blade in the front. Always cut the drywall on the front, which is the light part, as opposed to the dark part on the other side, the brown. Okay, once you cut the line, you can actually just bring the board in the opposite direction and bend it, like so. Go behind it and cut behind exactly the line. So there we go. You can use anything. You don't have to use a razor blade. And it breaks very easy. Like one of these stuff. There you go. I just cut the drywall, and as you can see, I took one big piece, which is 8 foot I'm going to put this in the bottom. Remember, I'm going to put it inside the track, like so. I'm going to have to cut out a socket, an electric socket. What's good to do is just to eyeball it. Once you see what a socket is, start cutting little square holes. You don't have to worry about being perfect because you know how to fix this. See, now there's the socket, and I'm just going to cut around it right now. Of course, I have the electric off. You don't want to do this with the electric on, unless you want to start a barbecue. Shut it off. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to screw on the drywall. You're going to have to get drywall, what's called drywall screws, but they're called drywall fasteners, 1 1/4 inch long, because these are not so, you don't have so much wood. Now, when you put the screw in, you want to bring it as close to the edge as possible. And you want to go in the drywall just a little bit, like so. Because you don't want, when you have to put on the mud, you want to be able to cover them easily. Remember, the studs are 16 inches apart from each other. So if you lose your position, just get your ruler and go 16 inches down to the next one. Oh, I missed it. This one, you know when you miss it, because it goes right through. Okay, I say don't worry about how the joints look, just as long as you fill up most of the hole with the drywall board, because the magic comes in with the mud and the tape. I'll show you real quick how to fill this up quickly. I'm going to put some mud from the pan over here like that. Like I said, you don't have to go this. You don't have to worry about making a Picasso here. This may look crude, but that's just the way it is. This is how it works. Okay, so we just get it in the middle, a little bit on each side. We get our tape, and we're gonna go like this, cut it. I'm gonna put it on there, and that covers that one crease. Got another piece of tape. We don't want to put the tape on top of the tape, you just want to put it next to it, like so. And now, that little corner right there is already taken care of. I'm going to do the rest with the same on the sides until I finish it, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, here's the after the first run. I call it the first run. The mud covers up the whole entire wall, and then I'll wait for it to dry so we can sand it and put another one. Very good. And the last stage, of course, is to do your sanding. And I think the most important part of the sanding is getting the edges as smooth as possible. The edges from the mud and the wall. Again, the mud and the wall from here to here. Try to get it as super smooth as you can. If you see an edge on the wall, most likely you're going to see it when you paint it. So again, the edges look good, and that's pretty much it. And she's ready for painting. This is the way that she came out. And hope I helped you out on your home improvement. Take care until next time.